Join in here 1 second. Still don't understand why it only copies that one link. It's a little bit odd, but it just has something to do with the mouse or something. All right, so we got that there, and let's take a look at this here. Oops. Sorry, a little bit lost here. There. Cool. Awesome. All right, well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. And so here we are, Tuesday. All right, well, I hope it's been a choppy week here so far, but we're making it through. Tomorrow is Wednesday, so looking forward to seeing if we have any action going into tomorrow or not. But cool stuff, guys. So we're continuing our series this week on Tesla chart patterns. And so yesterday we had fun. We showed a combination of a cup and handle pattern at the 15 orb high with a sideways inverse head and shoulder breakout. So today we're going to take a look and see what Tesla did and or what might be going on with Tesla. So before we get started, though, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to check and see where we left off with the market today, and then we are going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening and what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right. So SPX, guys, we've got a green month here so far. We're up, except it's choppy, right? We're up 74 cents here today, so we're green on the monthly chart. And we're just basically seeing if this thing wants to get moving at all, right? There was some news this morning talking about, like, hey, this market needs a catalyst. And then it's like, before you know it, right, this morning, we'll take a look at the futures this morning, well, we got a catalyst, all right. It basically seemed like for a little bit, at least the way the market was interpreting it, that the internet was basically going down around the world, right? So that got the market a little bit like, okay. And we saw a big breakdown. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. And it turns out it was just Fastly. And I think one of our chart requests tonight is from Shirley, and we'll be taking a look at FSLY and see what that looks like here. But in the meantime, weekly chart, look at this, just a little kind of doji week right here. So pretty narrow range week here so far, but we'll see if things get picked up. Don't forget, guys, there's nothing really major going on this week, maybe some job numbers and stuff, but next week is the Fed. The other major thing, too, that's going on is the SPX roll, right? So the ES contracts, the S&P future contracts, are rolling from the June expiration to the September expiration. A lot of times what you see is people dumping their current positions and getting into the other ones. That can create an artificial down move on the SPX, right? So just something to keep an eye on right there. We started to see that a little bit yesterday, but it gets a little bit more heightened as we get into that area right here. And the 10th, I think, is the roll date. So something to keep an eye on, especially if you're a futures trader too. So daily chart, guys, we got a lower shadow off the ADMA. So we had a nice tight inside day yesterday. A lot of times those compressed ranges. It was an NR4 inside day. It was the narrowest range in 4 days, right? Almost 7 days, but there was this guy right here, which ended up being a little bit narrower. But it still felt pretty narrow, right? Because it finished with a doji. And so things started to actually get going today a little bit. We had a nice short opportunity at the open, and then the dip buy was actually pretty incredible too. Again, kind of unbelievable how far it went, right? So pretty big move there. This is the Elliott wave count that we're still tracking here. Basically, we're looking at that we have this wave 1 up right here. This looks like an ABC wave 2, and to me, this looks kind of like a subwave right now. Like this is a wave, like a subwave 1, 2, 3, expanding flat 4, right? And we could be working on a wave 5 tomorrow. So I'm kind of looking for some impulsive action, but we'll see what the futures have in store going into then. So let's take a look at the S&P futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So we're up about a $1.25, right? Pretty close to the prior all-time high levels, right? We tagged I believe we tagged a fresh all-time high this morning in the open market. Yeah. So we tagged a fresh all-time high today, and they kind of reversed off of it really quickly, right? So let me show you what happened exactly here this morning. So we had we're busy working on the bubble report here at 5 a.m., 5:30, and we're like, oh, we're up here, right, about 5:10, and it's like, okay, we got a triangle going on. Let's see if we can break out one way or the other. We're coming up with a game plan. And then this news comes out that the internet is crashing across the world. And I'm like, oh, wow, I hope I can get the bubble report before that happens, right? And so we ended up losing this. I had to, like, rewrite it and rechart it, like, 3 times. So I was trying to get some clarity on what was going on. And then, boom, they just bought the dip off of this thing like crazy. By the time the the bubble report was published today, we were back to the top of the triangle. We were back where we left off. It was hilarious. So anyway, just kind of grinded right there. We got to the overnight highs pre-market, so basically just stretched the overnight highs up, and they couldn't get above it earlier this morning. So when that happened, it was kind of neat, right? What they wanted to do is come back and test it. So we got a quick flush at the open. We had some, some general resistance levels right there. But once we got this flag pattern intraday, this is where we got short, right? We actually got short after this right here, and it still ended up being an incredible trade on the SPY puts, right, for a nice move down there. And then, of course, wow, big dip buy off of the signal zone and the 6-2 VPOC, right? So a nice move right there. I was kind of thinking that that gap would get filled, right? That gap from the third, but they just couldn't quite get there. So those lower shadows, like, no, we're just going to work our way back up and just ground its way up for the rest of the day. So right now we're just kind of chopping going into tomorrow, so we're definitely going to keep an eye on this. Right, it's a little bit too tight right here to really say that this is a geo line, but we just kind of keep an eye on it here for the rest of the evening and see how it goes. So good stuff there. So again, generally pretty choppy, and we'll see if we get any other news type events that happen maybe sometime tomorrow. So good stuff. All right, well, let's take a look at the topic, guys. So once again, we're going over Tesla. So today we're going to be talking about Tesla chart patterns. Yesterday we covered the embedded cup and handle pattern within a larger sideways inverse head and shoulders pattern, right? So pretty cool stuff. So what do we get today on Tesla? Well, not much. So today was not much of a chart pattern day today, but this is actually a great way, a great example today to look at when chart patterns fail, right? And so let's kind of take a look at that and we'll kind of see what we got going on here. So if I just kind of bring this down to the 1 minute chart here and clear the chart off. One of the big things that we looked at today was the initial drop, right? And everything else was generally pretty bullish here today. We had a lot of dip buys, like Apple was a pretty decent dip buy. A couple other ones too with some big bounces today. Made some nice moves, but Tesla really didn't play along. And to us earlier, we were hoping that it would get back above the 15-hour below. And one of the things that we saw going into this morning was a falling wedge pattern, right? So we saw this. And another thing that you can look at when you see a falling wedge is a potential wolf wave, right? So if you guys remember the wolf wave, right, you take your instead of the lines here, you kind of take this, you go here. I'll bring that out there. It's kind of your sweet zone right here. But what we look for is the 1, 2, 3 has to be less than 1, 4, 5, go, right? And so that's the idea. And the target is the wave 1 to wave 4, right? So you kind of go this wave 1, wave 4. So our target would be right there off of the wave, right? And it didn't quite get there. It didn't even get over the 15 orb low today, right? So what we saw is a failed wedge pattern, a failed falling wedge pattern here right into the first hour of the day. And once that failed and it rejected the 15 orb low, that is where we started to see some more downside action, right? And so a couple of things that we did see intraday right here. We saw a bear flag, right? And that ended up working its way down pretty nicely right here. We had a little double top right here, so a nice chart pattern there that worked its way down. And then we had a kind of a triple bottom right here that ended up bouncing off of it, right? So a couple ways you could look at this too is since this was kind of exhaustive right here and this was exhaustive, is this candle is actually a 2B reversal. And so what that means is this candle closed below this. This is the one that closed below this candle. So an entry above this candle, right, is the strategy, right, with a stop just below it, right? So so that's the idea right there. And this thing actually ended up working its way up pretty well and kind of moving it this way. I like this is when it kind of corresponds to that shark pattern type look to it. So that gave a little bit of a move there intraday on Tesla. But the smaller patterns worked well today, but it was the big ones that really didn't, right? So that was the kind of the more challenging part today. You even kind of had like a little bit of a diamond pattern right here today too on the intraday, right? So you got this, you got kind of this type of, kind of diamond pattern right there, which ended up working its way down. So a lot of different patterns here today. Like here was a bull flag that never ended up kind of breaking above it, right? So that was a failed bull flag pattern, and kind of the idea. So why all these, why did it keep going down today? Why didn't the falling wedge or the wolf wave break out? Why didn't this bull flag break out? Why didn't this diamond pattern work its way to the upside? The big reason, right, is mostly because of what we talked about yesterday, right? Initially, when we started the whole conversation, that Tesla is looking like it is in a macro zigzag down, right? So all surprises tend to happen to the downside, right, when we're in a downtrend, right? So the big thing here is that we are in a downtrend, right? We're under the macro downward trend line. That's this line right here. We tagged above it, forming a trend box. Here's a trend box low right here. We haven't gotten below this level yet, but I think once we do, if we do, kind of corresponds to this level right here. I think we could end up seeing this gap, or at least the middle of the triangle. So pretty cool stuff there, right? So we're bearish 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ABC 1, 2, 3, 4, and then actually with this impulsive wave wave potential. This looks like a potential subwave 1-2, 1-2, and we might be looking at more of a faster move now. We got an open gap right here for a wave 3 of 5, and then maybe 4 or 5 gap fill, and then we'll see where we go from there. So that's kind of the big stuff, right? The other thing that we're looking at too is this potential. We showed this yesterday. This potential bear flag right here, right? So we'll see if that wave 5 does start. It's a bear flag breakdown. So we'll see where we go from there. Anyway, good stuff, guys. I think today was a great example. It shows that on the lower term time frame, sometimes things can work well, and then on the longer term time frame, sometimes you don't see the setups, right? But it helps to get those chart patterns on there to at least get an expectation, and then kind of formulate a risk reward opportunity, and then see if it goes. But again, a failed chart pattern in a bullish direction in a macro downward trend way can often lead to some good moves. So anyway, good stuff. All right, so hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So Shirley sent in a few via email. Shirley, I hope you're doing great out there. You've got comp. So it got comped. So comp with a doji day up here today, right over the ADMA on this one, Compass Inc. So looking kind of interesting, right? Just a little bit of caution, just in case it breaks down this geometric line, because it could be kind of like a bearish type flag, but seems to be working its way up. I like the volume right here. It looks like it's trying, right? So another thing to kind of keep an eye on right here too is that geometric line. So you might get a little bit of a room to get there. So let's see how that goes on comp. Let's take a look at Wendy's again, guys. This became a new meme name today. This is one of the themes this morning, is that they're going after restaurant names today. So Wendy's hit the menu today and really started to pop. It wasn't really clean price action, but they had it up pre-market. They ended up buying the dip, retested the 15 orb high, and then a push there and kind of getting some follow through after hours. Not an easy name to trade, but this is the most volume it's had in a while. Maybe it's time for a cheeseburger. So we'll see how that goes there. Let's see if we can get above today's highs for an extra move on that one. Great find on that. SDC, let's take a look. SDC, great breakout candle. I love how it closed with increased volume over the 50-day moving average. Really, really nice move on that one. Let's see if that can get some follow through to the upside. It's a tricky name, though. Sometimes it has trouble getting going. And then here's Helion, right? So this is another one that was a huge SPAC name not too long ago. Has this been just drifting its way down, right? We had a bear flag that corresponded with a sideways head and shoulders pattern, which ended up going down, retest and back down, right? So we had that going on. Kind of a little bit of a shark pattern, or potentially, if you want to look at it like kind of like a falling wedge type pattern right here. We started to get above that, and now we're into the cloud with increased volume. So let's see if we get a breakout out of the cloud. So nice stuff there. FSLY, guys, this is one. Thanks, Shirley, for bringing this one up today. So we liked this yesterday, and I was almost kind of embarrassed. I didn't put it in the public game plan yesterday. I was kind of happy about that, because this morning the whole internet is shutting down. It's all Fastly's fault. I'm like, oh, that's horrible, right? So I put it on the 15 orb radar for today. But wow, did they buy the dip on this one? And look, a perfect move right here too. Bullish at the open, pull back to the 15 orb high. Have a nice day. Right, on such a crazy name that basically shut down everything. So including Amazon and the UK government website. I mean, incredible stuff. Anyway, so up to the 50-day moving average, I'd be careful swinging this one here. But anyway, thanks Shirley for providing that one. Great stuff. Otas, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at skills. What skills to pay the bills? So again, got really tight right here the other day. I think this made our action name radar. It ended up popping to the upside here with a good move, but a bit of an upper shadow right there. So a little bit of caution. That's some selling pressure, right? We just want to be careful with that. So to see if maybe we can kind of get a pause day and kind of nestle in that range, and then maybe we can try to pop out of the cloud there. So something to keep an eye on there. Piton, had a strong candle yesterday as well. Got a little bit of upside follow through. So I mean, it could be kind of flagging right here. Just something to keep an eye on, right? See how that goes. Might see a little sideways and then boom out of the cloud. Something to look at there. Boeing. Boeing with a quick drop right here. This thing's been struggling with a lot of these geometric levels right now, and we got these resistance levels above. So we got a gap up back to the ADMA, so we're kind of chopping right now. It might be working on some sort of like flag or pennant pattern right here, so definitely something to keep an eye on here too. And then Laser with a beautiful move up this morning, and then just kind of pulled back here into the afternoon, so a bit of an upper shadow. We were expecting a little bit more of a pullback before it got going, so let's see how it goes. Maybe it'll go sideways for a little bit, triangle, and then get going to the upside. So good stuff there. Otas, awesome. Yeah, I hope you had a great trading day today, too. Thanks again for tuning in. Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So you got a little bit fortunate. So you got a little fortunate on the PLBY today. So good job on the dip by there. So, yeah, that was down pretty huge here today. down pretty huge, and then have a nice day, right? So good stuff there. I like the dueling green candles. So cool stuff there, and then bowing. So yeah, so the big thing with bowing, right, is it could be working on a bull flag right here, but the other thing to be kind of cautious on is if we go all the way back from when the 737 MAX really started to have some issues, right? We take this geometric line down here, we're finding a little bit of resistance right here. So for us to get super duper bullish on, I'd like to see some volume break out of that, and then we might see like this open gap right here that hasn't been tested yet in a couple of these levels. So it's in a very interesting area. So this level, this geometric level right here, is going to be very, very important for the market. And I still wouldn't even be surprised if we kind of worked our way up and then kind of retested it and then went. So just definitely something to keep an eye on the radar here. So good stuff. My F, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at DKNG from the action names radar that we provided here, guys, Sunday night with a double inside day up, and got some more follow through today. So hopefully you guys found that one helpful. The other one that we talked about last night was Bank of America, which worked right off of the open today. It was just incredible with the levels that we were talking about yesterday. Just boom for a quick trade on that one today. So nice stuff on Bank of America, and the other ones that we talked about too in the group today were good as well. But yeah, so NEO, let's take a look at this one. So NEO, again, decent move right there, kind of spinning top, ended up down like 12 cents here today. So we'll see if that turns into a pause day or not. And then ADT with the measured move up, you gotta love it. So nice move here, and holding trend here so far. But that's kind of your measured move right there. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of chop as the ADMA kind of catches up to it, right? So good stuff there on ADT. And then you got AHT. So yeah, but ADT was a nice chart there too. And then yeah, AHT, also a great one here. Ollie Wally's favorite on this one, right? So so the good move right here. Again, just beautiful candles on this one today. I mean, is there like news on this thing? It's just incredible stuff. So see how that holds right there, and if we can get any more follow through on this one, you gotta love it. And then Krishna, what's going on? Let's take a look at CLOV. Again, guys, I guess trust the process. You know, I talked about this today on, I think, the lunchtime video today, and really epic stuff here, Krishna. I mean, just this gap up. I mean, obviously, see if it can break above these highs. But this is this teaches such bad trading habits to young traders who are just getting in, right, where they're thinking they could just hold it forever and just gap up, you know, like a couple months later after it gets clobbered, right? So, you know, so that's kind of tough right here. But again, hey, it's a squeeze name. It did its thing and made its move, right? But it was not easy at all today. I mean, there's a lot of money that was probably lost on this candle alone, right? So you got to be really careful with these names. But a nice push, and we'll see if we can break above today's highs. Wish, yeah, there's another one right there. Big move on that one today. But again, right at the 50-day moving average, so a little bit of caution there. Roots, this one got through it, and it's at the clouds. So see how that holds its resistance if we get through it. And then the STX, yeah, not quite as big as the other guys, right? But hanging in there, right? So could be a little bear flaggish, right? Off of these levels right here. So just kind of see how that holds. If it does end up breaking down, right, look for maybe the 50-day. But a pretty decent candle here with increasing volume, so see if we can kind of get out of those other geometric lines and get going again. So good stuff there. And David, what's going on? Good evening. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Open. So Open with a nice move here. Watch your 50-day. Okay, watch your 50-day potential resistance there, but a nice push on that one. Pola, this is a great one from Yes. Look at that thing go. Look at that contraction to expansion. You got your move today. I love it. So let's see if we can get some follow through in there, get out of the cloud. And then Cower, again, just a nice move on that one too, just really just kind of curling its way up right here. So more volume would be nice, but so far so good. So good stuff there. John, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Let's take a look at Wow. Wow with a double inside day. Okay, so down a little bit here today. Let's see if we can kind of break out of those levels one way or the other, right? And kind of get going. Again, guys, one of the things we did talk about is this potential zigzag 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, up. So if it does break down, watch for a potential symmetrical move, right, on the downside, right? So just a little bit of caution there off of Wow, as long as it doesn't take out the top, right? So just something to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at the EVBG. So EVBG, nice push there, low volume, but back above the 80 man. That one, so see if we can get any follow through, maybe some more volume come in tomorrow. Loco at the 200-day moving average, nice push on that one, great find on that too. And then the ICPT, let's take a look. ICPT over the 80 MA and over the 50-day. So that was a good one. The only thing it didn't have was volume today, so a little bit of caution there. Good stuff. And bullish bearish trades, what's going on? Good to see you. Let's take a look at Mr. Softy on the long side. Let's take a look. So Mr. Softy, interesting, right? So this is could be working on a retrace, right? I like this kind of 1, 2, maybe it's kind of like a subwave 1, 2. So just be careful with this one, just in case it wants to do a subwave pullback to the 618, which is corresponding right to the gap right here. And if that gap is defended at the 618, this thing might go 1, 2, 1, 2, and then go right on Microsoft. So definitely something to keep an eye on right there. And then the upstart on the short start. Yeah, lots of upper shadows. Right, lots of upper shadows. We close below those recent highs with a lot of upper shadows off of it. Would like to have seen a little more volume here, but so it might just be kind of testing the 80 MA, and then we'll see where it goes from there. So good stuff there, Michael Phillips. What's going on? Good to see you. Let's say like Kodak. So whoa on Kodak, the one day it doesn't just trap everybody. Incredible. Big move on Kodak today. That's a snapshot for sure. Good excuse. Save that for the records. But a big push here intraday. Boom. There's your geometric line. I'm going to push up above there. So good stuff on Kodak. And John, yeah, CMG. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. CMG Doji. A little bit of caution off the doji right there. Hopefully a stock split coming on this one of these days. Raul, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Whoa, I know. What a day, right? Exactly. Let's take Airbnb. Let's take a look. Airbnb. Wow, getting tight up here. Could be a potential pennant there, John. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So we got a potential pennant right here. So just let's see if we can break above those levels and get going. And looks good over 152. Yeah, so it'd be kind of like a little bit of a flag break on. Let's see if it can get some volume again and get going. So good stuff there. Michael Phillips, what else you got? Ace STS. Let's take a look. Woo! Big one right there. Space Mobile on that one. LOTZ. Let's take a look at this one. Woo! Over the 50-day moving average. I love it. And NEXT. Let's take a look. Oh my goodness. Next Decade Corporation. Goodness gracious. As if yesterday it wasn't clear enough that they were ready to push this thing. Wow. Big move on that one. Nice five, Michael. Bob, what you got? You got Facebook? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Facebook. Fresh all-time highs, and then it gives you kind of that red spinning top. So let's see how that holds there. RKT, I don't trust it. Any big green candle, a decent green candle on RKT, they always seem to short it down, right? So, but it did close above its fresh 2-day moving average. So let's see how it holds there. But again, any sign of weakness tomorrow could be a good short opportunity on it. And XPEV, I pointed this out today. I was going through charts today. I was like, wait a second, look at XPEV. Wow, look at this thing. So really incredible move off of this one right here. Here's your geometric level breakout, right? So it ended up getting through that here with increasing volume, and then have a nice day. Really, really nice stuff there. Thanks, Bob. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing great too. Thanks so much. Inside week on WoW. Yeah, probably we got a double inside day, inside week here so far. So yeah, definitely. Good stuff there. Suyag, what's going on? Good to see you. Apple, let's say Apple a day. Apple a day. I know I need a harmonic that works for my profit potential. It does look potential, right? So you got this. Let's go with a crab for you. Here. Let's go as high as we can on that. There you go. Let's see if we can work its way up. Tough upper shadow, guys. This level right here, I was tweeting about it earlier. This gap resistance has been like just such an important level here recently. I mean, just every time it gets to this level, it's like it's sensitive to it, right? Missed it here, missed it here, missed it here. That's a huge level of interest, right? So pretty cool stuff there on the prior gap. But yeah, I hope it works for you. So John, what's going on? Where do you add the inside barcode on TD Ameritrade on TOS here? So it's custom code. It's real easy to program. I'm happy to share it with you. I'll give you the what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the inside bar study. I'll share it with you right here. Okay, I'm just going to post the study in here at the bottom. So you can load that into your TOS, and it'll turn your inside candles yellow. And it just helps. It helps with some clarity, right, on your chart. So good stuff there. Suyag, Airbnb, ABC down. Possible. And yeah, let's go with the crab, Suyag. Let's go. Exactly. Nice. Well, good stuff, guys. It's been fun talking about Tesla this week. Well, a lot of chart patterns on the 1-minute time frame, right? 5-minute time frame, maybe not so much. Didn't work out so well for it today. But again, we're leaning in the direction, right, of the overall trend until the trend bends, right? So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, guys, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll catch you guys tomorrow for another day on Tesla. And we'll also see you guys here bright and early in YouTube for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And looking forward to seeing you guys then. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. And we'll see you guys bright and early. Until then, stay healthy out there. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And we'll talk to you guys soon.